Over the last few years, McKinsey has been on a journey towards becoming our client's impact partner. And we do more and more work where our clients have asked us, look, we don't want you just to tell us what the answer is. We want you to help partner with us to drive execution. And as we have done more and more of that work, we have also focused on building the playbook of activities that we know are proven to achieve sustainable impact. McKinsey has identified 10 impact essentials, which we believe are critical to drive systematic execution and change in the context of any transformation. The first is there a full potential aspiration across both performance and health? Have we done a detailed baseline to understand what the improvement potential is, again, across both performance and also health, or what we would call ways of working or culture, and developed a sufficiently robust aspiration in terms of where we want to go? Second is around communication and engagement. An organization needs to develop a compelling change story that really describes what the change is, why it's important, and why it will be meaningful down to the level of each individual employee in the organization that they can believe in and get excited about. And then surrounding that change story, you need a robust two-way communication plan, leveraging multiple different types of communication channels and multimedia to continue to get the drumbeat of communications across. Third is you need to think about what is the talent you're going to need for this transformation to be successful, and where do you need to deploy or redeploy talent into different critical roles to really lead the transformation, and what other changes are needed to the talent system to drive the change. So this could be everything from changing career progression plans to the employee value proposition. The fourth is, how are senior leaders going to align around and role model the change? Often what we find in these types of big transformations is it requires significant change in terms of how the senior team operates and what types of behaviors they demonstrate. And a real concerted effort is needed to help lead them through that change as a team. Next is, how are we going to drive the change bottom up using an army of change agents and influencers to create the network effect and to really build excitement, participation, and activation from the ground level up? Next is, what are the capabilities that we're going to need to build in the individuals, right? So whether it's executional capabilities, functional capabilities, leadership capabilities, often we see, especially given the broader changes in the environment, that there's going to need to be significant capability building. And how do you incorporate the best thinking on the science of learning to really do the capability building in a way that is as performance and sort of business oriented as possible and gets people the skills they need at the right time to do their work? Next is, what is the incentive system that's going to support the transformation? Both financial incentives and non-financial incentives, or different rewards and recognitions to drive the objectives you're trying to hit and the behaviors that you want to emphasize. Then there is, how do you hardwire the change into different tools, technology, decision processes, and structure? Oftentimes these transformations require new ways of doing things or new tools and technologies. And are those apparent, or is there a plan to build them? What is the portfolio of initiatives? Is each individual initiative robust in itself when you think about all the different aspects of what is required in an initiative? And then what does that portfolio look like? Has it been sequenced appropriately to maximize impact, as well as be manageable from an organization perspective so that you're not overwhelming it? And are you thinking about how you're going to scale those initiatives for really sustainable impact across the organization? Sometimes we find we're overly focused on the pilot as opposed to the scale up. And then finally, what is the implementation infrastructure? What is the transformation office, the performance management, the governance process to make sure that all of this, happens on time and on target? We have deep conviction in the importance of the impact essentials. Based on both the research we have done, as well as the thousands of transformations that we have led at McKinsey, we have found that all 10 impact essentials are required in a transformation to achieve sustainable impact. They're called essentials for a reason.